Welcome on in. This is going to be my introduction to the new math and equations course. It's currently something that doesn't really at all exist in this format at all. We'll kind of walk you through how this works. I recommend using it and what all comes with the course. So just to kind of talk about what actually is involved in the course, how it actually works. So the first thing that you'll see is that there's going to be a video that I've just called like the learn video. And this is a video that's going to walk you through the content related to the equation. So for example, with like the magnetism equations, I'll walk you through the right hand and the left hand rule, things of that sort. And I'm also going to kind of talk you through how they're going to show up, right? So this is just kind of an introductory thing that if you feel pretty comfortable with the content, you kind of don't really need to necessarily watch this, right? The next thing that you'll see is guided practice. So completely separately from all of the mastery problems that you'll be able to do on your own and look at all of my explanations and things of that sort. I've recorded videos of me doing several practice problems in each subject so that you can kind of see how I like to do them, how you can make some of the math a little bit easier, as well as so you can see a guided walkthrough of how the equations will be showing up and how you can answer them much more easily in actual practice. And then of course there's going to be the mastery section that basically inside of each little master tab, there's going to be practice problems that either going to test the equations that are being tested in whatever subject we're looking at, or there's going to be a whole bunch of skills that we'll work on as well if need be, like using scientific notation, getting better with probabilities, things of that sort. So that's basically, there's 3 different prongs that you can use. You can pick whichever parts you need. If you just need the practice, absolutely go for it. There's practice problems there. I just might reference some tips and tricks that might make a little bit more sense if you go through the general math skills section as well. So just to talk about what actually comes with the course, there's 561 practice problems that are purely just math. Just math practice problems, going through relationships in the MCAT style of like, by what factors does this increase, making you use kind of weird units in some different circumstances. 561 practice problems that you can do on your own to make sure that you have all of the equations understood and you can do the math skills pretty consistently, right? That number right there, 561, also does not include the questions that we'll be doing together in the guided practice section as well. Additionally, I have recorded 21 hours of videos. Combined between the guided practice and the learn sections, there's 21 hours of video. So that if you need a little bit more help than just going through the practice problems, absolutely go watch whatever videos that you need. I've recorded not only some practice problems that we can do together, but also just like a general introductory video where I talk about like, hey, here's all the content behind this topic. And then additionally, this is going to bundle with my biochemistry course as well. So if you have interest in buying the biochemistry course, if you haven't already done so, if you're watching this with the free preview, there is a bundle discount that also will change as I start introducing more courses. So this is basically meant to be an a la carte math mastery system, right? Basically just pick and choose whatever you need. You don't have to be doing every single section or every single practice problem. This is mostly supposed to be something that if you're struggling with math, this is just going to show you how the questions show up and give you enough practice that hopefully it sticks. The skills that we'll teach you in the general math section will hopefully help out a lot with various things like dimensional analysis and scientific notation, other things like that. And then the rest of the course is purely designed to help you actually integrate the equations that are being studied so that you can memorize them a little bit better, as well as getting an initial view at how the questions and equations are talked about on the MCAT. That's it. That's the introduction to the class, to the math and equations course. I'm hoping that you guys are really excited about this because, like I said, this is currently something that does not exist at all in this format. So if you have any other questions or recommendations, you might see some errors and stuff like that in various places. I talk about this in a little bit that obviously there's a ton of math fact checking and things of that sort that I had to do that I'm almost positive that some things slipped through the cracks. So please be patient with me on that. I'm a one-man team over here that's doing a whole bunch of stuff with all these courses and stuff like that. So it does take me a bit to actually get through and correct things. And there, like I said, there might be some formatting things that slip through the cracks. I try to make everything a pretty consistent format so that I wouldn't miss things. Pretty much just like a copy and paste format of how I wanted the questions and answer choices, not the questions, but the explanations, especially to look. But if you do find any mistakes, you can start a discussion on the question and just let me me know what question it was and describe what you think the mistake is. You can also email me using the webpage, not only linked in the course, but also on the screen. But whenever you send in something that I need to fix or correct, I'll go take a look, make sure that everything's all above board, and then I'll fix it. And if need be, I'll delete the discussion so that people know that it's fixed and they're not worried about it being wrong in the future. So that's pretty much it. I'm hoping you guys have a good time with this course, as fun as you can have with math, because obviously math is not the most interesting thing in the world. But that is it. That's all I really wanted to say as an introduction to the course. So I'm really excited for you guys to try it out. Hopefully this is addressing a pretty big need in the MCAT community, and I will start seeing you guys in some of the actual videos.